So a lot of times, you know, in the past you told me not to say certain things because, you know, especially related to my job, you said don't say certain things because sometimes they're listening. A lot of times I see, like, people, patients, they are always thinking the worst, and they say it and that happens.
Yes.
How do we understand the effect of the words that we speak? Like, right now in this time, people just speak and they don't understand.
Don't speak. How are you going to know? Look. How are you going to know the effects of the food that you eat? People tell you the food is harmful, no? How are you going to understand the effects of that food? You fast, right? You fast and you feel better. You break that fast and you eat that junk food again, you know how you feel. Maybe if you just keep on eating, and you don't fast, it doesn't have any effect on you because your system is so used to it. You understand? Your system is so used to it. You have to fast, some people. Some people, they have to fast. Long time. Once you start fasting, then you become more sensitive. You'll be able to feel. That's with the food. Yeah? Once you start fasting, and then you take the junk food again, and you say, I cannot do this. Now I know. So the point is to empty yourself a little bit, and then you put something in, and then you look at it again. You have to empty yourself. The whole point again is to empty yourself. It's not to come full. You have to empty. Then you are going to know. So many people, they come full, and they become fools to themselves, young and old, men and women. They become fools to themselves. Because the ego is thinking, even if it's a small one person, is standing up as if it is the Lord. You understand? Whole world is looking and say, who are you? You see? And I say, we laugh at you. You're going to become fool to yourself. Because in certain areas, you cannot tolerate that. You understand? So now how you understand the words. Try not talking so much. How are you going to understand the words? The tongue, how many times we repeat that hadith? What is hadith? Prophet ﷺ is saying, O my nation, control these two things. If you take care of these two parts of your body, then I will take you and lead you to paradise myself. That is between the part of the body that's between the jaws and between the thighs, your private parts and your tongue. These are the two parts, especially in the 21st century. People don't know how to use. They use wrong, correct or no? The fitna from the tongue now, it brought down empires. It brought down empires. That's why in the way of tariqat, a lot of things you have to watch. You have to watch your eyes, you have to watch your ears, you have to watch your tongue. You have to watch what is coming out. People want to have this skill so that they become magicians. No, it is not to become a magician. You have to know these skills so that you return that speech, that power of speech, back to Allah too. Everything has to return to Allah. Everything belongs to Him. No? Your sight has to return to Allah. Your hearing has to return to Allah. Your tongue has to return to Allah. Your hands have to return to your feet. Everything has to return to Allah. Isn't all these things just shadows of that reality? Isn't Allah the one who sees? Isn't He the only one who sees? Isn't He the one who speaks? Isn't He the only one who speaks? Everything is coming from Him and we have to return. How are we going to return that to Him now? Nobody sits down. Tariqat becomes a game. Tariqat becomes just, I feel nice, I feel high, so my station is high. In the Naqshbandi way, it is to watch yourself. Tariqat, in this Tariqatul Aliyah, especially in the Osmanli Naqshbandi way, it is to check yourself, to watch yourself, not to feel high, but to check, what did I say today? What did I look at today? What did I listen today? What was my heart busy with today? That is tafakkur. You want to make yourself to become more sensitive to that? Watch what you say. So many of you don't know what you say. Correct or no? Then they're not going to give you the secret then. Definitely, you cannot carry it. What is that secret? That when you speak, Allah is the one who hears you. You understand? Not people, not nonsense ones. The beloved ones, they hear you. They sit and they listen. Because you don't speak, Malayani. You speak for his sake. But this is the job you have to do yourself. You cannot say to the sheikh, now teach me how to do it. They teach you, but like they say, what? You can bring a horse to water. You can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot force it to drink. The drinking, the horse has to do himself. All these talks that we're giving, if you are just, by the time you finish the sohbat, you walk out and then you leave everything and you just do the same thing to yourself, to your friends, to your families. You are not putting everything together. It has no effect. 40 years in front of the shaykh, you didn't take 4 steps then. You think it's a game because you think, it's all about if I see some unveiling, if I see some lights, if I see some this and I see some that. No. So many times in these days, those things can fool you. So, watch your tongue. Aren't we supposed to do that? Aren't Muslims already doing that once a year? At least once a year, 1 month in the year? That is the meaning of fasting. You watch your tongue. And especially people of tariqat now, we must be aware. What are the first words I said today with my tongue? Is it what's for breakfast? Or cursing? Or complaining? Or saying the shahadat? Or giving salams to our shaykh? Something. You need to be a genius or a saint to know this? No. Just to wake up a little bit, to be interested a little bit, to have some passion a little bit. It's all there in front of you. You're working. Okay, you work. You finish working. Especially in America, you cannot say, I work 24 hours. People in Turkey, people in different parts of the world, Pakistan, they can say they work 24 hours. Not us here. 3 o'clock, everything finishes. Correct? You sit down. What words come out from your mouth? To be aware. And then you're going to calculate a little bit. Then that time, when you're a little bit more aware, you say, these words are better for me to use. These words, they are not. These words help people. These words are just emptiness. Anything that is Malayani, it takes away your faith. It's not that it's Malayani and it's okay. It takes away light from you. Just like food, it's food, but it's junk food. It's not only that after a while you eat and you feel sick, you feel not so nice, but you're actually not well, not healthy inside. You understand? It's not just a feeling, it is a reality. So everything has to return to Allah. We are going to die. This is what the ayat is also saying in the khutbah. He's going to make excuse, but he will be witness to himself. Man will witness himself. You don't need the angels to witness you. You don't need other people to witness you. You don't need the saints or the prophets or Allah to. You will witness to yourself. That is the day when you cannot lie. You cannot lie. You say, no, I didn't. Your tongue is going to say, I did. Your heart is going to say, I did. Your hand's going to say, I did. Your feet is going to say, I did. Everything will witness against you. In the Naqshbandi way, we sit at least once a day. You're supposed to. Reality is 1 hour a day, but 5 minutes a day, that 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a week, if any one of us sit down and watch and say astaghfirullah sincerely by yourself in your room. You don't need nothing. You don't need to recite nothing. You don't need to go up and down for nothing. Just say, okay, I did that. That wasn't so smart of me. Astaghfirullah. I did that. Shukr, alhamdulillah. I said that too much. That's not necessary. You check yourself. You are bearing witness to yourself. You're not giving any excuse, because people, they're giving so much excuses these days. Everything is an excuse. Especially living in the West, everything is an excuse. Why you did this? Because of this. Somebody made this. Yes, you're talking about the self-blaming ego. That is the first step, where you blame yourself. They teach blaming yourself here in the West especially? No. They say blame other people. There's no blame. No blame, no shame. This is all very bad. It's not Islam. There are things that you do that are good and it helps. There are things that you do, it is not so good for you and for others. That has blame. And if you do that and you become more arrogant, shame on you, because it causes harm to yourself and to others. People are not even trained, majority, to sit down like this and to listen to one man talk for half an hour, 1 hour, and not to say anything. They must say something, they must move around, they must fidget, they must do something. They cannot just be comfortable. But if you ask them, they're the highest in tasawwuf knowledge. So it's become a game to people. So we must think. Man must think. Allah is saying, think. You must think. Why don't you think? This is for thinking, man. Why I did that? Why I said that? And then you come to the situation where, because you're doing it so much, you don't have to wait till the end of the day to think about it. Middle of the day you think about it. You don't have to wait till the middle of the day. As you're doing it, you think. You're saying you think. You become more awake where you're stepping, watching where you're stepping. You're more awake where your heart is. You're more awake where you look at. And then if you say too much, your heart is going to move. And you say, astaghfirullah. It's not really necessary. This is okay. This is that. Why do you think we travel like that? I did not even allow people time to go to the bathroom, just to make it to be squeezed a little bit, so that you don't have the luxury of doing anything that you want to do also. You don't have to. I'm not forcing you. But we have so much luxury to do anything but we want to do. All the time. At least now, as I said, 44 maqams we visited. Is that possible in that space of time that we're doing that? No, it's not. It's not possible if you're one person to go just like that. It's not possible with 70 people to do that. But we did it. Not just 44 maqams, we make ziyarat of 30,000 muqaddas and amanat. The holy relics, 30,000 of them. It's not possible by this mind, it's not possible by your understanding, but they can open it because you are like that ant who is carrying one drop of water to take out the fire of Nimrud. You understand? If Allah praising that ant with that one drop of water that wants to take out the fire of Nimrud because it was set up to burn Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, if Allah can praise that ant, why Allah is not going to look at us with mercy? That we are Hazrat Insan, that in our weakness we're trying to do something to take out the fire of our ego. Especially in this Ahir Zaman. Especially if you're living in the West where there's fire everywhere. But the thing is to try. You must. You cannot be arrogant and say, I'm not going to try. You cannot be arrogant and say, I tried it. It doesn't work. I'm not going to, you must try. We speak about the sweetness of those holy lands. But understand this. That candy, like say that lokma, that halwa, to a person who is sick, it is bitter. You understand? To the person who has not eaten for 7 days, that halwa becomes a manna from paradise. But it's just halwa. It is not the thing, it is man again. Yes, we speak about the holy lands, the sweetness of that. But if we are not ready, if we are not hungry, if we are not thirsty, there is nothing to. And there are people who live there next to saints and sultans and prophets, and it's a nothing to them. But it is a something for us. It is a sweetness for us because we want it. So the whole point is not also where you are physically, there or here. It is whether you're thirsting for it or not. Just like the people, everyone is loving to see the Baytullah, Mecca. Everyone is loving to see the Kaaba. And you are advised is sunnah to wave at the Kaaba. Correct or not? Maulavi? Yes? To wave at it. I don't know how the Wahhabis think of that. Waving at a stone. It's not exactly shirk, because you're not worshipping. You're just being friendly. And those that their whole lives they're wishing to go there, and when they see, it is not their hands that's waving, it is a spirit that comes out. But for those people who live there, they will use the Haram-e-Sharif as a shortcut to get from this point to that point instead of circling around. So because we are thirsty here, we find it sweet over there. So we must make our hearts to be thirsty for Allah. It has to be thirsty for Allah. It has to be thirsty for the Prophet. It has to be thirsty for the awliya Allah. If you make your heart to be full with this dunya, and then say, I'm thirsty for Allah, it'll never work. It won't. You can be in the dunya, those who have to be, you have to be in the dunya. But you have to know what they say, Ya lan dunya. And then when the dunya fools you like this or like that, you say, Alhamdulillah, Allah is reminding me. Because I can get sucked into the comfort of this dunya too. But Allah is reminding me. Because if Allah doesn't love you, He's not even going to give you a toothache. Correct? How many people believe this? Or they get a toothache and they start complaining. I know so many religious people, they say, oh, Ya Allah, why you give me a toothache? Astaghfirullah. At the level of tasawwuf, to fight with Allah like that, poof. So, you must watch. That's why in the Naqshbandi way, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, he would go through certain kinds of seclusion. And one of them was to take a piece of stone, put it on his tongue, and not speak. When it's necessary, he takes it out, he says something, and he puts it back. You don't have to imitate like that. Just watch what you're saying, if it's really necessary or not. Say something that is going to benefit you and others, or else keep silent. Who keeps silent these days? People don't keep silent. When they keep silent, for nonsense. Correct? Shaitan is fooling. Not even time, not even. Any minute now, they get very nervous. Check yourself. One person takes out, the other person, oh, I have to take out. Another person says, I have to take out. I swear to you, if I don't have the work that is here, I would not. We went through that time in the Dargah in the early days too. Shavani banned all computers and everything for a while. He did. Now we lived without, forcing ourselves to be busy with other things. And then when it's necessary to, and you remember that time when you have to sit 5-10 minutes, you start feeling sick in your stomach. And you feel sick when you're looking at your phone after a certain time, no? What is making us to keep on doing it? It is that addiction, it is that drug, it is that shaitanic influence that is there. When it doesn't become necessary anymore, and you're just addicted, you just keep going and going. So, inshallah, this is for people of understanding. If you like it, take it. If you don't like it, leave it. I'll take it for myself. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum.